Welcome in beautiful Bogota, Colombia. Today what we're going to talk about is why tenant leverage is so important to every landlord. Also, if you want to see where I'm traveling, follow my other channel, Travel Made Simple. Yeah, I know, I'm super creative. I'm going to share a few of my personal stories and you're going to understand why we need that leverage. Tenant acceptance. So first things first, before the tenant comes into the property, you have the leverage because you write the contract, you vet the tenant, you interview the tenant, you check credit score, you check how much money they make and everything. The moment the tenant steps in, they have the leverage. Generally, judges will take their side because we don't want any homeless people, and that's where tenants and professional tenants comes into play, and they do take advantage of the court system. So what is tenant leverage? Tenant leverage is pretty much you have a very good security deposit, 1 month rent or more. You have last month's rent as well. You have them having a great credit score, 700, 720, 740, depending on what your area and what type of service you offer. By service, I mean what type of property you offer and what type of amenities. You might have washer and dryer, you might not have washer and dryer. You might just offer hookups for that. Is it a house with a pool or is it below the middle range? So the one leverage is if tenants have a good credit score. Another leverage is if you collected enough money that it will hurt them if they actually leave. So if you don't have secure deposit, just a quick story, the properties that I bought from Jim, I've talked about Jim who sold me a lot of the properties. He has, first of all, he hasn't raised rents for a while. Let's call it $1,000 a month, which is unheard of. Actually, one lady paid $650. Her security deposit was $300. That is nothing. That's not enough for me to paint a door. So when I took over, that lady got, obviously I didn't renew the lease with her, but people who are have leases for $1,000, their security deposit is also $300. And I'm like, guys, no, we have to bump up the security deposit to 1 month's rent. So right now, my standard is the security deposit is the same amount as the rent. And every time we increase, every year we do a renewal, we increase the rent, you give me the security deposit to match that rent. For example, $1,300 rent, we increase to $1,400. Your security deposit used to be $1,300. Now you got to give me $100 more to bring it up to $1,400. Second thing is last month's rent. It's a bit hard to get. However, there are strategies. Why is it hard to get? Well, if you pay $1,300 in rent, first month, last month, and security deposit, that's $3,900 that you have to fork. I mean, that's $4,000. Most people don't have $4,000. However, you as a landlord are protected. Right now, I have somebody who just tells me, I'm not going to vacate at the end of the lease. I need at least 1 more month, which I already have tenants lined up, and I tell them, hey, we cannot accept that. You're not welcome to stay. We have to file for eviction the moment that you don't I don't even want you to pay. You don't have a lease. We gave him a 60-day notice as per law, whatever, 55 days, whatever it was. He's just like, well, it's going to take time for me to find property. That's your problem. Sounds like a you problem. However, it is not him problem. It's my problem. Because once you go to eviction, it costs money, time, and revenue. So it's not good. As you know from my previous videos, maybe I'll list them down below and up here. I had 2 evictions last year. I think 1 was this year. And both of them cost you about your yearly profit. So it's about $3,000, the best case scenario. So last month's rent, if we had that, there was going to be no problem. I was going to tell them, hey, in this month, let's say January 1st to December 31st, it's November, we're not going to renew. You already paid me for November. I usually give them the non-renewal after they pay me, because I have to give them in the state of Florida more than 1 month. So I usually give them, 55-day notice. So it's a month and 25 days. So you pay me for November. I don't need your payment for December. I just need you to get the fuck out of the property. End of December. That's just an example. Don't ever have your lease end in December 31st. What options do you have to collect last month's rent is, okay, give me $1,300 first month, give me security deposit $1,300, and then you're gonna give me, let's say, $200 a month for 6 months, or $300 a month for 4 months, or whatever the case is, so you can actually give me the last month's rent. And I've heard other landlords talk about that once they collect last month and secure a deposit, next year when they increase it, they do not really increase, they don't require more money from the tenant for the secure deposit and for last month. I do. Now I haven't really done last month rent thus far. I'm willing to do it. However, the people, when I vet people now, the people that I accept now, their credit score is over 700. So for those people, I won't really need last month's security deposit because they seem to have very good stable income, very good credit score. The last tenant actually is 781. So from that person, I don't think I'll need last month's rent. Seems like he's good with finances. Another story during the eviction that actually did take place this year, like tenants, tenants are so funny, they think they can tell you what's gonna happen. You know, they're like, oh, I know the law, I'm gonna go downtown. And of course they don't go downtown, they just talking out their ass. But she was basically telling me, I will leave next month whenever I take my, you know, it was April, so like the tax return. And I'm like, no, you're not gonna leave next month. She filed the motion to stay, which she doesn't even know what that is. The judge dismissed it in 4 hours. And she still left a day before the police got there. So they squeezed till the end, which is not good. However, this is because I took chance on people. She didn't have a good record. She started cleaning for me. But lesson learned, I'm sorry, but don't take chances on people. If they're in a fucked up situation, there's always an excuse why they're there, but usually there's a reason, and the reason is them. Usually, I would say 90+% of the time. I have given a chance 3 times thus far. 2 of them end up in eviction, and 1 of them end up in close to eviction. I barely kicked them out. So thus far is 3 for 3. So how to vet the tenants? It's not that complicated. Check their credit score, check their income, and background check. I do background check now. They pay for it. It's $50. Background check on every adult that's going to live there. And make up your mind. Maybe you see that the score is like 680, then you're going to require maybe more security deposit. Or you're going to say, hey, security deposit and last month. If their score is 800, maybe you say, hey, come on in. Half month's rent for security deposit and first month's rent, that's all required. Because 800 plus credit score, that person cares about their finances. They're good about their finances. So you can play by ear when you have that data. When you have an interview, prepare 5 questions, not too many, 5 or 10 questions, see how they respond. It is not a discrimination to not want to rent to somebody who's mean to you, who's disrespectful to you. It is not discrimination. I've asked. So if somebody's being a dick to you from the get-go, how do you think that's going to fly in the future? It's going to be the same relationship. You have to have a good relationship with your tenant, but you're not their friend, but you're also not their boss. It has to be somewhere in between that, hey, I'm the landlord, treat me with respect, just do the things that I'm asking you to do, changing filters or whatever else we have set up, and I treat you with respect, and you do the same. And the most important thing before I close this episode out, once they're late, do not treat that contract as a guideline. This is a contract. I'm sorry, it's out of my hands. You're late is the second. We have to tack on late fee. Don't allow them to not pay it. I'll give you an example with the guy who's leaving now, and you know, I didn't renew with him. He's supposed to leave in, I think, 2 days. So with him, he keep repeating, and I hate when tenants do that, I pay on time, I pay on time. When somebody says that, to me it's not a good sign because they think that they're doing something extra for you and they're just doing what they're supposed to, like that's their responsibility. However, when I went to give them the non-renewal, I'm like, hey, you keep repeating, I pay on time, I pay on time, I pay on time. I just want to ask you to stop repeating that. Then you're going to print out of all the days you've paid for the last 10 months, half of those months you were late. Like you paid on the 2nd, on the 4th, on the 3rd. So stop saying that you pay on time. You don't. No, pay the late fee. Can we just stay? No, we're not gonna renew. I don't. There's no late fee. I made a mistake not to charge them late fees. So that's what I'm saying. Charge them late fee and be on top of them. People are like children. I don't think they ever grow up. If they're irresponsible, they're gonna try to sneak one quick one on you. Or, you know, it's just one day. No. I'm on top of it. Once you prove to them that you're gonna be on top of it, there's gonna be no you're not going to forgive them anything, they will start to be compliant, or you're just not going to renew. And the final strategy is what I'm implementing right now. First, rent 3 months. And you say, okay, if you pay on time and everything is good, we're going to extend it with 9 months on the same price. So they don't lose anything. But you have the leverage of, hey, in 3 months, bye-bye. I don't need to wait 1 year for me to evict you. Because not having lease, it's better, I think, than having lease and not paid. I might be wrong on that one, but I think it's better because, hey, your lease expired. You're not even supposed to be here. But I'll pay you. There's nothing to pay. Like, there's no lease to pay. Well, I think that's all from me, folks, for today. Thank you very much for watching. Again, as usual, don't forget, go with this channel is to show you that the point is not to look rich, but to be rich. Peace.